My friend, what if I told you that just 90 days from today, you could wake up in a body you respect, guided by a mind you command, and possessed by a fire no doubt can extinguish? What if the man staring back at you in the mirror is no longer a stranger, but the builder of his destiny? Would you dare to believe it? Would you dare to begin? You see, most men drift. They wait for motivation, for permission, for the perfect mood, and in the waiting, their purpose withers, their potential decays, and their soul, it knows the truth, that they could have become more, but chose not to. But you're here because something in you is ready, not for a temporary change, but for total transformation. So let me be plain. The next 90 days are not a challenge. They are a campaign, a sacred war against the mediocre version of yourself, the soft one, the uncertain one, the one that makes excuses. For the next 90 days, we are not chasing motivation. We are building identity. And we do it not by inspiration, but by law. Law that you write, law that you repeat, law that you obey. This is the Napoleon Hill Mastermind journey, and over the next 90 days I will walk with you, not as a cheerleader, but as a commander, not to whisper empty affirmations, but to show you how to forge yourself in silence, in sweat, and in self-governed fire. Together, we will rebuild your habits, discipline your thoughts, and align every movement of your day with the man you are becoming. Here's what you'll learn in this video. How to create a crystal clear chief aim that ignites your every action. How to structure each day for maximum clarity, energy, and execution. How to train your body and mind to work together in harmony. How to use your evening and morning rituals to reprogram your subconscious for success. How to eliminate distraction, master your focus, and become unshakable in the face of noise. This is not about adding more. It's about subtracting weakness, about shedding every excuse, every drift, every identity that no longer serves the man you were born to be. You won't need more motivation. You will become motion itself. So here's your first decision. For the next 90 days, you will vanish, not from life, but from every soft agreement you've made with hesitation. You will disappear from distraction, from self-doubt, from the noise of opinion, and you will reappear as power. This journey starts now, not tomorrow, not next Monday, now. So take a deep breath, sit upright, and say aloud with me, for the next 90 days, I vanish from weakness. I reappear as strength. I obey the law I write. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. The Law of Fire and Discipline. The very first law of transformation is this. For 90 days, I will live with military discipline and spiritual fire. Not motivation, not feeling, discipline, not emotion, not applause, law. You must burn this into your spirit because the man who commands his day commands his destiny, and the man who prepares his thoughts prepares his fate. This is where your climb begins, not with comfort, but with command. Every night before your head meets the pillow, you will write 3 to 5 non-negotiable goals for the next day. These are not hopes. They are not nice ideas. They are orders. They are sacred vows to your future self. And they are not broken, not for pleasure, not for fatigue, not for convenience. If your goal does not scare your weakness, it is not worthy of your identity. These goals must stretch you. They must serve one thing only, your definite chief aim, the purpose toward which your entire life must now bend. If you don't have that aim yet, then your first goal today is to write one. Write it with such conviction that even the heavens pause to listen. Once you write it, you read it twice daily, once when you rise, once before you sleep. But hear me now, you do not read it like a robot. You read it as if your soul depends on it, because it does. You read it out loud, with power, with belief, with vision. You see yourself already in possession of your purpose. You feel it in your bones. You believe it in your chest. Why? Because your subconscious does not obey casual wishes. It obeys only commands drenched in emotion and belief. This is not fantasy. This is the same principle that Edison used to invent, that Lincoln used to endure, that Carnegie used to rise. These men did not casually visit their goals. They lived inside them, and now, so must you. But know this. The mind cannot serve two masters. It will either serve your purpose or it will serve your fear. So for the next 90 days, we eliminate fear at the root. How? By replacing it with repetition. Repetition of clarity, repetition of purpose, repetition of law. Each day you rehearse your aim. Each night you plant your command. Each action you obey your own voice, not the noise of doubt. This is how a man is reborn, not once, but daily. Say it aloud. For 90 days I live by law. I command my day. I sharpen my identity. Now take your pen, write your aim, write your goals, and prepare, because Chapter 2 begins in motion. Chapter 2, the ritual of movement and dominion. Let me be clear. A sluggish man cannot build. A tired man cannot dream. A distracted man cannot command his day. And so, if you are to rise, if you are to rebuild yourself over these next 90 days, you must begin with your body, because your body is the engine of your mind. From this moment forward, 30 minutes of deliberate movement every single day is no longer optional. It is law. It is the non-negotiable ritual that will awaken your mind, sharpen your will, and ignite your energy. You are not moving for aesthetics. You are moving for alertness. You are not training for applause. You are training for authority, the authority to govern yourself, your thoughts, and your actions. Movement is not a reward. It is the requirement. It is the gateway to power. Do not wait to feel like moving. Do not ask if you're in the mood. You move because it is written in your law. And what is written in law is not subject to mood. This is not motivation. This is command. And in obeying that command, you become the general of your own body. Every drop of sweat, every stretch, every breath is a declaration. I am not my excuses. I am not my fatigue. I am not the man who waits. Say it again. I move daily because I am a builder. I exercise to sharpen my mind. Whether you walk with purpose, stretch with presence, or train with intensity, you do it as a man under discipline, not distracted, not lazy, but present, focused, obedient to your mission. And when your body becomes strong, your thoughts become clearer. Your decisions become faster. Your confidence becomes automatic. Why? Because you now trust yourself. You say you'll move, and you do. You keep your word, even when no one's watching, even when it's hard. And that consistency, that self-respect, becomes the foundation of your entire transformation. You may not feel the change on day 3, but on day 27, day 45, day 60, you will look in the mirror and see a new force looking back. You're not building muscles. You're building momentum. You're engraving discipline into your very bones. Let the world decay. Let others drift. Let them wait for inspiration. You move. Move when it's raining. Move when you're tired. Move when your schedule is full. Why? Because you are a man of law. And the law says, I move daily because I am becoming unstoppable. This law has no flexibility, no escape clause, no permission to pause. If you cannot afford a gym, walk outside. If you cannot run, stretch in your room. If you cannot stretch, breathe deeply and move your breath with intent. But move every day without excuse. Because movement is not about what you do. It is about who you are becoming by doing it. You are forging identity, not with speeches, but with sweat. You are engraving character, not with hope, but with motion. Repeat it now. I move daily because I am a builder. I train to sharpen the mind. No more negotiation, no more asking. You wake, you move, you sweat, you build. Your strength is no longer for survival, it is for dominion. Let this chapter burn into you. And remember, the man who commands his body commands his life. Chapter 3, the mastery of fuel, eating for clarity and conquest. Let me give you a law that most men never learn. The man who cannot govern his plate cannot govern his fate. You may think your success lives only in your mind, but the mind is built, fueled by the body, and the body is built by what you consume. So hear me now. Every bite is a vote. Every meal is a message. You are either feeding your future, not for escape, not for emotion. You will eat for clarity, for strength, and for command. Say it aloud. I eat for clarity, not comfort. I serve my law even at the table. Sugar dulls the mind. It fogs your decisions. It spikes your pleasure and crashes your purpose. And every time you give in without intention, you surrender your edge to indulgence. Now listen, this is not about shame. This is about sovereignty. This is about reclaiming your power at the plate. Food is not entertainment. It is fuel. Fuel for your brain, fuel for your decisions, fuel for your discipline. The man who eats in obedience to his mission thinks with precision, acts with certainty, moves with purpose. The man who eats in disobedience wanders, fogs, falls. So from this day forward, you will ask yourself this one question before every meal. Does this serve the man I'm becoming? If the answer is no, you do not eat it, no matter how small, no matter who's watching, because the man of discipline does not obey cravings, he commands them. Let me give you a rule, one that will transform not just your body, but your mind. Practice silence before each meal. Sit with your food. Breathe. Remember why you're eating. Not for dopamine, but for dominance. Not to numb, but to build. Say it now. This meal is for conquest, not comfort. I feed my future, not my cravings. The undisciplined man will mock this. Let him. But understand, no empire is built with a sluggish body and a fogged mind, and the fuel you choose determines both. You don't need a perfect diet. You need intentional fuel. Eat what gives you sustained energy. Eat what leaves you mentally sharp. Eat what a builder would eat, not a slave to impulse. Test everything. Observe how you feel after every meal. Eliminate what dulls you. Keep what strengthens you. Build your personal nutrition like you would build a fortress. And never forget, the plate is the proving ground of mastery. You can fake motivation. You can fake confidence. But your plate will always reveal the truth. So I ask you now, does your plate reflect your power or your drift? You want clarity? Then remove the fog from your fork. You want strength? Then eat like a warrior in training. You want purpose? Then your plate must preach it. Say it again. I eat for clarity, not comfort. I feed my law, even at the table. This is not advice. This is command. And if you are to disappear for 90 days and return reborn, your plate must reflect your purpose. You will not eat like a man of weakness. You will eat like a man of law. Chapter 4. Reprogramming the night. Planting power before sleep. There is a window, a sacred window, that opens just before you sleep, and what you place inside that window builds your future. Your subconscious mind never sleeps. It never questions. It simply accepts and it builds. So I ask you, what are you feeding it? What messages echo in your mind when the world goes quiet? Most men fall asleep to distraction, to fear, to anxiety, to scrolling, to noise, and they wake up wondering why their life feels confused. Why nothing moves, why everything stays the same. The answer is simple. They never gave their mind a mission, and a mind without mission becomes a servant to chaos. But you will be different. For the next 90 days, your final 30 minutes before sleep become non-negotiable. They are the most powerful minutes of your entire day, not for entertainment, not for escape, but for instruction, for transformation. Say it now. As I sleep, I rise. As I repeat, I become. This is your new nighttime law. You must choose one ritual, and you must obey it every night. You may read your definite chief aim aloud with belief. Repeat high-emotion affirmations. Visualize your future self living your purpose. Listen to a powerful speech that aligns with your destiny. But you must do something, and you must do it with emotion, because the subconscious does not respond to mumbling. It responds to feeling. When you say, I am the man who commands his destiny, you must say it like your future depends on it, because it does. Feel the power in your chest. Feel the image in your mind. Let your emotions color every word, because emotion is the carrier wave of belief. If you choose to visualize, make it vivid. See your hand signing the contract. See the office door with your name on it. Hear the sound of your voice commanding a room. Feel it, own it, live inside it. And if you choose to listen, listen without distraction. No phone, no multitasking. Let the words wash over you like a river of command, because this is not a lullaby. This is spiritual reprogramming. This is how the weak man dies quietly in the dark and the strong man is reborn in the morning. Say it again. As I sleep, I rise. As I repeat, I become. Every night you obey this law. Your identity is shaped. Your thoughts are realigned, and your spirit is fortified. You are no longer allowed to drift into sleep like the rest of the world. You are not going to bed as a man of reaction. You go to bed as a man of direction. You choose your last thoughts. You command your inner world. You plant what you want to harvest, because repetition is your sword, consistency is your armor, and emotion is your fire. Together they will burn away every trace of the old you and carve the new you into being. You're not just building habits, you're building identity, and identity governs everything. Say it one final time. As I sleep, I rise. As I repeat, I become. Now go. Choose your ritual. Obey it with faith, and let your subconscious build the man you're becoming. Chapter 5. Building the Day Before It Begins. The Power of Written Law. Let me tell you a truth that separates the average from the exceptional. The man who does not command his day has already surrendered it. He may not know it yet, but the moment he wakes without direction, he becomes a servant to noise, to mood, to randomness, to drift. A man without a plan reacts, but a man with a written law builds, and builders don't ask permission. They declare, they prepare, they command. For the next 90 days, this is your law. Each night before sleep, you will write 3 to 5 non-negotiable actions for the next day. Not hopes, not vague ideas, commands. These actions are bricks in the temple of your definite chief aim. They are not errands. They are not to-do lists. They are orders from your higher self. Say it aloud. I am the man who acts with precision. My day obeys my pen. Why write them at night? Because while you sleep, your subconscious begins building the instructions you've given it. You've planted seeds in the evening, so the soil of your mind can work while you rest. And in the morning, you do not hesitate. You execute. You rise already decided, already directed. The weak man waits for the mood. The master wakes with a mission. So write with clarity. Write with certainty. No vague intentions. No emotional guesses. Not, work on my business, but write one-page proposal by 10 a.m. Not exercise, but train body for 30 minutes at sunrise. Not think about finances, but review budget for 20 minutes before lunch. Specific, measured, essential. This is not about doing more. This is about doing what matters most, and doing it on command. Let me be clear. 3 aligned actions per day will outbuild 30 half-hearted ones. And each night, before your pen touches paper, do these actions serve my definite chief aim? If they don't, they die. Your subconscious accepts no contradiction. Your identity accepts no confusion. Your law must be clear, or it cannot build. And let me warn you, there will be nights when you're tired, when you think, I'll just do it in the morning, but you won't, because the man who decides in the morning is already a step behind. He's reactive. He's chasing. But you're building your day before the world even opens its eyes. This is how Rockefeller built empires. This is how Carnegie moved mountains. This is how I rebuilt my life when I had nothing but a vision and a pen. You're not writing wishes. You're writing war plans. Each night, sit in silence. Reflect on your aim. Write your 3 to 5 commands. Speak them aloud. Visualize completing them with fire. And sleep knowing you are a man already in motion. Say it now. I end each day with direction. My goals command my action. I build my day before I live it. Keep your commands in a dedicated journal, not on loose scraps, not on your phone, but in a book of law. Review it weekly. Study your victories. Confront your drift. And when you fall short, return to the law. This ritual is not small. It is not optional. It is the blueprint of builders. And builders don't wonder what the day holds. They write it. So write it. Declare it. Sleep with it, and rise already crowned in direction. Chapter 6. Owning the Morning. How Masters Begin Their Day. Every morning, a man is reborn, but most wake up as the exact same version they were yesterday. Why? Because they didn't choose their identity before the world got to them. Let me say it plainly. If you do not command your first hour, the world will command it for you. The world will feed you opinions, urgencies, notifications, doubt, and drift. And by the time you realize it, your energy is gone, your attention is scattered, and your purpose has been hijacked. But not you. Not anymore. For the next 90 days, your first hour belongs to you, to your law, to your pattern, to your rebirth. Say it aloud. I rise with purpose. I shape my mind before the world speaks. I do not wander. I decide. This is the ritual of power. It is not optional. It is not casual. It is the spiritual foundation of your new identity. And here's how it works. The moment you rise, you do not touch your phone. You do not check messages. You do not read opinions. You go inward, not outward. You speak, not scroll. You declare, not react. Step 1, drink water to awaken your vessel. Step 2, move to circulate blood and breath. It doesn't need to be intense. It needs to be intentional. Stretch, walk, breathe. Command your body. Step 3, read your definite chief aim aloud with belief. This is not poetry. This is power. You're speaking your future into form. Step 4, read your written goals for the day. You wrote them last night. Now you obey them with morning clarity. You do not question. You do not negotiate. You follow through because you are a man of command. Step 5, recite your affirmations, loud with feeling. No whispers, no doubt. Say it from the chest. I am the man who moves with power. I speak with command. I obey my aim. You are not convincing yourself. You are activating your new identity. You are rehearsing the role until it becomes reality. Step 6, take immediate action toward your aim, before the world has a chance to distract you. Write, create, build, move the needle. Even one small action in that first hour will anchor your entire day in forward motion. This ritual is not new. It is ancient. Edison walked before others woke. Lincoln wrote before the world stirred. Carnegie declared his vision before breakfast. I did the same. And now I command you to do likewise. Every repetition is a brick. Every word you speak shapes your mind. Every action you take in silence makes you a louder force in the world. Say it now. My first hour is sacred. I speak law before the world speaks noise. Do not let others steal your morning. Protect it, defend it, sharpen it, because the man who owns his morning shapes his fate, and the man who shapes his fate becomes a beacon to those still asleep. So tomorrow, you do not wake as a drifter. You rise as a declarer, as a director, as a builder of destiny. Chapter 7, Eliminating Distraction, the Discipline of Subtraction. You want to rise? Then you must let go. Let go of the noise. Let go of the habits. Let go of the versions of you that were built by drift and distraction. Hear me now. Power is not found in addition. Power is found in subtraction. For the next 90 days, your climb is not just about what you build. It's about what you destroy. It's about what you leave behind. Because the man who tries to carry everything advances nowhere. So this is your next command. Each week, eliminate one distraction, one person, one platform, one pleasure, one pattern. That does not serve your definite chief aim. Say it aloud. I remove the unnecessary. I protect my energy. I serve only my purpose. Distraction is not just noise. It's theft. It robs you of attention. It drains your willpower. It delays your transformation. And every time you allow distraction into your sacred space, you are making an agreement with mediocrity. So cut ruthlessly. Cut without apology. You don't need to explain. You don't need to announce. You don't need permission. Just eliminate. You cannot become unstoppable while checking every notification. You cannot sharpen your focus while feeding every urge. You cannot command your time while begging for validation. And make no mistake, distraction is addiction. Addiction to reaction. Addiction to attention. Addiction to delay. But now you serve a different master. You serve law, and the law says, if it does not build me, it cannot stay. Every time you cut a distraction, you reclaim a piece of your mind. You reclaim clarity. You reclaim dominance. Say it again. I do not explain my focus. I protect it. I defend it. I build with it. The world will not understand this. They will call you cold. They will call you distant. They will call you obsessed. Let them. You are not here to be understood. You are here to become. The builder does not stop his blueprint to explain every brick. The lion does not explain his silence. The master does not beg the crowd for applause. He builds. He moves. He removes until all that remains in his world is what serves his vision. So I ask you now, what is the one thing you must cut this week? Is it a scrolling habit? A toxic conversation? A late-night ritual that fogs your morning? A source of doubt you keep inviting back? Name it. Write it down, eliminate it, and don't look back. Next week, cut again and again until your environment is clean, until your mind is light, until your path is clear. Say it aloud. Each week I remove what weakens me. I make room for greatness. And understand this, you will become feared, not because you harm, but because you reveal what others could become if they obeyed discipline. Your silence will scream, your clarity will convict, your results will echo louder than any justification ever could. So disappear from the noise, disappear from opinions, disappear from the rituals that once kept you average, and in that absence, let greatness rise. Chapter 8, Obeying the Pattern, Becoming the Man of Law. You've been given the tools, you've been given the rituals, you've been given the law. But now comes the test. Will you obey them? Because this journey isn't about motivation, it's about mastery. And mastery is built through one thing only: obedience to pattern. Listen carefully. Your mood is not your leader. Your past is not your compass. The crowd is not your counsel. From this point forward, you will be governed by pattern, not emotion, not memory, not convenience. Say it aloud. I follow the pattern. I obey the law. I build regardless of mood. For 90 days you rise with law. You move with command. You eat with purpose. You speak with conviction. You write your day. You repeat your identity. You eliminate distraction. You build. This is not a routine. This is not a streak. This is not a test. This is a system of self-governance. It is how the old you dies, and the new you, the one shaped by fire, rises in obedience. But the weak man will feel resistance. He will say, "What's one missed day? What's the harm in sleeping in? What's the point of writing again?" And that voice, that is not your voice. That is the voice of drift. Kill it, silence it, refuse it. The man who obeys his own law, even when no one is watching, becomes a force no one can stop. Let me remind you, the world doesn't reward those who start with fire. It rewards those who finish with flame still burning. So do not treat your law as a suggestion. Treat it as a sacred agreement between who you are now and who you are becoming. Repeat it with force. I vanish into law. I disappear from weakness. I reappear as strength. This is how identity is built, not by inspiration, not by hype, by daily focused obedience to a pattern you chose. And the more you obey, the less you drift. The less you drift, the clearer your voice becomes. The clearer your voice, the more powerful your presence. Let me tell you a truth. Obedience to pattern is greater than inspiration, because inspiration is a spark. But obedience, when you doubt, repeat. The pattern is the guide. The pattern is the anchor. The pattern is the proof that you are no longer waiting, you are building. Say it once more. I follow the pattern. I obey the law. I am becoming the man I decided to be. This is how you rewire your spirit. This is how you become a man who can't be moved, because you no longer hope to become. You simply act as if you already are. So now, do not ask if you're ready. Do not ask if you feel like it. Look to your law, obey your pattern, and let your transformation speak for itself. Chapter 9, Becoming the Unrecognizable Man, A Life Beyond Drift. Let me offer you a vision. 90 days from now, you look in the mirror, and the man staring back, you recognize the eyes, but not the presence, because something inside you has changed forever. This man doesn't hesitate. He doesn't explain. He doesn't beg for clarity. He becomes it. He doesn't ask for permission. He commands his space. He walks into rooms with quiet power, and when he speaks, people listen. He is not louder, he is clearer. He is not faster, he is steadier. He is not perfect, he is precise. And that man, that new you, did not arrive by chance. He was built. One repetition at a time, one law at a time, one sacred decision at a time. You didn't just change your schedule, you changed your spirit. You didn't just remove distractions, you removed your old identity. You didn't just write goals, you rewrote who you are. This is what happens when a man leaves the land of drift, because drift is death in disguise. It makes you busy, but not effective. It makes you entertained, but not fulfilled. It makes you known, but not remembered. But you are no longer that man. You have burned him, buried him, replaced him. You vanished from noise and reappeared as law. The world will start to notice. They won't know exactly what changed, but they'll feel it in the tone of your voice, in the way you move, in your refusal to shrink, in your command of self. And here's the truth. They will fear you. They will envy you. They may even mock you, because you now represent something they're avoiding. Discipline, identity, clarity, law. But do not bend. Do not explain. Do not water down your pattern to comfort the crowd. Say it now. I am not here to blend. I am here to become. You are not becoming the best version of your old self. You are becoming someone entirely new. A man who leads without noise, who moves without question, who builds without drama, who does not need the world's attention to know his worth. You are the man who obeyed when it was silent. You kept your word when no one clapped. You followed the pattern when your old self begged you to quit. And now you've become unrecognizable to the world, to your past, to your former limitations, but most of all, to the man you used to be. And that, my friend, is the price and the reward of choosing power over comfort. Chapter 10, The Final Hour. How to sleep like a builder and wake like a king. The world trains you to end your day with distraction, with noise, with numbness. But let me give you a different law. The final hour of your day is the first hour of your future. Because as your body prepares to rest, your subconscious prepares to build, and it will build with whatever materials you give it. So you must stop handing it poison. No more scrolling into sleep. No more worry as lullaby. No more gossip, drama, or mental clutter as the final voice you hear before unconsciousness. From now on, your final hour belongs to intention, to clarity, to identity. Say it aloud. As I sleep, I rise. As I repeat, I become. For the next 90 days, you will treat the last 30 to 60 minutes of your day as sacred preparation, not because it's trendy, but because the subconscious mind is most impressionable before sleep. It does not argue. It does not doubt. It simply receives and executes. So each night before your head touches the pillow, you will either read your definite chief aim aloud with belief, repeat affirmations that match the man you are becoming, visualize your future self giving you instructions, or listen to a powerful, purpose-filled message. But you will not skip it. You will not drift into sleep by accident. You will not give the most creative part of your mind over to confusion. This is not entertainment. This is identity installation. This is how you speak directly to the builders within you. When you say, I am the type of man who rises with clarity and moves with power, you're not saying it to impress anyone. You're saying it to instruct your subconscious, to train your nervous system, to govern your dream world. And when you visualize, don't just see it, feel it. The chair in your future office, the keys to your new business, the voice of your future self saying, keep going, I'm waiting for you. If you repeat it with emotion, it will enter your bones. If you do it with faith, it will reshape your identity. But understand this, drift is still lurking. It waits for the night. It waits for the quiet. It waits for your guard to fall. That's why your final hour is your final line of defense. You will speak belief. You will plant purpose. You will fall asleep like a man in command, not a slave to chaos. Let this be your last thought each night. My dreams are built on purpose. My mind works in obedience. My future is already forming. Say it one final time. As I sleep, I rise. As I repeat, I become. Now shut the door on the day. Close your eyes with intention, and let the builders go to work. Chapter 11, The Power of Repetition. Identity is not chosen, it's installed. People think change happens by decision, but decision alone is not enough. Decision is the spark. Repetition is the fire. You are not who you say you are. You are not who you wish to be. You are what you repeat. If you repeat weakness, you become it. If you repeat clarity, you become precise. If you repeat chaos, your life becomes noise. If you repeat purpose, you become unstoppable. This is not philosophy. This is spiritual engineering. This is how the mind, body, and soul are aligned. Think about it. You didn't learn fear in one day. You didn't become hesitant overnight. You repeated certain thoughts. You repeated certain behaviors until they no longer felt like choices. They felt like you. So now we reverse engineer your future by repeating what the new man would repeat, not once, but daily, with force, with faith, with fire. Say it aloud. I am not what I feel. I am what I repeat. This is the law. Repetition builds identity, and identity governs behavior, which means every act of repetition is a spiritual rehearsal of who you are becoming. So when you say, I rise with purpose, say it every morning until it no longer feels like a hope. It feels like a reminder. When you say, I command my day, say it until hesitation fades, until doubt no longer dares to whisper. Do not look for variety. Look for alignment. Say the same truths until they become your spine. Edison did not invent by variety. He repeated his belief through 10,000 failures. Lincoln did not endure by inspiration. He repeated his moral vision daily until it became his law. I did the same. I did not change my life by chance. I changed it by choosing one belief and repeating it until my subconscious had no choice but to obey. And now you will do the same. Write your affirmations. Post them on your wall. Speak them in the mirror. Recite them while you walk. Let them echo in your voice, your mind, your steps, your breath. You are not faking anything. You are installing the new system, the new pattern, the new self. Say it again. Identity is not chosen. It is installed. Don't wait to believe it. Repeat until you do. And if doubt rises, repeat again and again and again, because repetition is the chisel, emotion is the hammer, and identity is the statue. You are sculpting yourself with every declaration you obey. If you miss a day, begin again. If you fall short, return without shame, because shame is the enemy of repetition, and repetition is the path to rebirth. So don't ask if it's working. Ask only, am I repeating? Because if you are, then the new you is already under construction. Chapter 12. The 8 Laws of the 90-Day Transformation. By now you understand. This is not a program. This is not a challenge. This is a private covenant between you and the man you are becoming. And covenants require law. So let me give you the 8 foundational laws that govern this 90-day transformation. These are not tips. These are not suggestions. They are commands. You do not break them. You build with them. Say it aloud. These laws are my structure. These commands are my compass. Law 1. Declare your definite chief aim. Write it. Read it aloud every morning and night. Not like a phrase, like a prophecy. Feel it. Own it. Let it become the axis around which your life turns. The man without an aim drifts. The man with an aim commands the wind. Law 2. Move your body daily. 30 minutes. Every day. No excuses. No negotiations. You move not for image, but for energy, clarity, and command. Each drop of sweat is a signature on the contract of transformation. Law 3. Eat in obedience to purpose. No sugar for comfort. No cravings in charge. Only fuel that sharpens the mind and honors your mission. Every meal is a vote for strength or weakness. Choose wisely. Reviewed with faith. Executed with power. My day obeys my pen. Law 5. Program your subconscious before sleep. Affirm. Visualize. Listen. Repeat. Never fall asleep by accident. Sleep as a man in construction, as a mind under command. As I sleep, I rise. As I repeat, I become. Law 6. Rebuild identity each morning. Before the world speaks, you speak first. Move, drink, declare, act. The first hour is your throne room. I rise with purpose. I command my day before the world can command me. Law 7. Remove one distraction every week. One habit, one platform, one indulgence. You are subtracting the unnecessary, so your greatness can breathe. I remove noise to reveal power. I subtract weakness to build clarity. Law 8. Obey the pattern, not the mood. The pattern is your king. The mood is the beggar. Obedience is the only path to lasting identity. I do not drift. I obey. I do not feel. I repeat. I do not ask. I act. Repeat this. I vanish into law. I disappear from weakness. I reappear as power. For 90 days you do not chase. You do not explain. You build. You obey. You repeat. And you rise. Because a man who follows these laws doesn't ask, can I become great? He simply decides, I already am becoming. Conclusion. Your final decision. Drift or destiny. You've heard the laws, you've seen the path, you've been given the pattern. Now the question is simple. Will you obey it? Because the next 90 days are not just about building habits. They're about burying the man who hesitates and resurrecting the man who leads. This is not about motivation. This is about rebirth. It's about identity. It's about the man you see when the mirror is honest and the silence is loud. You've spent enough time drifting. You've spent enough time doubting. Now you build. Say it one final time. I vanish into law. I reappear as power. And when the world asks what happened, you won't need to answer. Your results will. If this message resonated with you, if you're ready to disappear into the fire and re-emerge transformed, subscribe to this channel right now. Because here, we don't chase trends. We build legacies. Leave a comment below and answer this. What part of you are you ready to bury for the next 90 days? No excuses, no waiting, just truth. We read every response, and if you're ready to rise, you won't rise alone. Welcome to the Napoleon Hill Mastermind Journeys. Now vanish and become